Hey, welcome back everyone. How you doing? You probably know me as Mr. 4K Upscaler, but recently I've been slowly moving towards a new look on my channel, and I want to shift gears from Mr. 4K and retire Mr. 4K and just dedicate this channel to PlayStation VR 2, the next generation PlayStation VR 2. And I want to just focus on uploading videos for PlayStation VR 2. So everything regarding PlayStation VR 2, from unboxing, pricing, accessories, anything that's in regard to PlayStation VR 2 news, future projects for PlayStation VR 2, it's all going to be about that. Of course, there's going to be videos of me showing gameplay of certain PlayStation VR 2 games, and that's what I'm going to focus mainly on. So I hope you guys will appreciate this new look of my channel, and only on PlayStation VR 2 channel. That's slowly transitioning as I am trying to make time to do this. We're only 15 days away from Sony PlayStation VR 2 being released, and I'm super hyped. Why? Well, first of all, I bought PlayStation VR 2 in October of 2016. I think it was October 6th or 8th, 2016. And ever since I got it in 2016 October, I fell in love with PlayStation VR. And I have tons of videos to prove that. And even though some people were skeptical on PlayStation VR, but I think PlayStation VR proved itself to be really good. And this is one of the reasons why they're making PlayStation VR 2. If PlayStation VR was such a failure for Sony, why would they make PlayStation VR 2? But it wasn't a failure. It depends who you ask. If you ask PC VR fans, they will say it was a failure. If you ask someone who's a console user from Sony, they'll say, no, this is a very affordable headset that I can use to enjoy my high quality PlayStation console VR games. So anyway, on this video, I'm going to try to focus on some of the news that has come out in the past few weeks regarding the PlayStation VR 2. And one of the news, as you can probably tell looking at the bottom of the screen, is from Yahoo Entertainment. Yahoo Entertainment recently has made an article. Actually, this came in today, as a matter of fact, 8 o'clock a.m. This article about the fact that PlayStation VR 2, it's outperforming PC VR, and this is coming from developers, okay? These are not paid by Sony, or they're not working for Sony. They're independent developers that worked on a Pavlov VR game. And keep in mind, Pavlov, it's available on a PC and Oculus Quest. So it's a third-party VR game. But on the PC, it's where majority of people are playing on their Valve Indexes and their Pimax 8Ks, very super expensive VR headsets, right? And the reason this is so important, which I will talk about in a minute after I read the article, is because the fact that a $500 VR headset with a $400 console, it's outperforming a PC that's $3,000, $2,000 plus a $1,000 headset, that is outperforming a PC. It's pretty outstanding for a PlayStation VR 2. But anyway, let me read the article for you guys so that way you can see what developers are saying about the PlayStation VR 2 performance with Pavlov. PlayStation VR 2 performance surpasses PC VR performance, according to one developer, the CEO of Vankrupt Games, the studio behind acclaimed VR multiplayer shooter Pavlov, told a fan that PlayStation VR 2 it's 10% faster than PC VR. Pavlov is currently available on PC and will be one of the 30 plus PlayStation VR 2 launch games. PlayStation VR 2 performance is more efficient than the PC VR, says Pavlov developer. In a screenshot making rounds on Reddit and Twitter, Vankrupt Games founder Alyx is seen stating that PlayStation VR 2 is the pinnacle of VR, especially for shooters. He also seems to be delighted to utilize adaptive triggers to the game's advantage, which obviously that's another benefit. The adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback and 3D audio on top of an amazing VR experience. So it gives the game's advantage, which you're not going to find on the PC or Oculus Quest. And keep in mind, you're paying more money on the PC than what you are on a console, giving each weapon a different resistance and recoil. And I think this is a very important part of the first-person shooter experience on the PlayStation VR 2 versus PC, because on PlayStation VR 2, with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, it gives you a much more realistic first-person shooter feel. And that's what this guy said. And this is a developer saying, this is not some Sony, hack or some Sony executive saying this. This is a guy who is a developer for Pavlov. And he says that the game gives an advantage to each weapon so you can feel a different resistance and recoil. The PlayStation VR 2 performance is probably 10% above PC VR, which is a pretty good percentage because it's a console and rendering is more efficient, Devilvilles wrote. And this is true. When a fan asked what GPU he's using, Devilvilles mentioned a 1000 plus 3090 Ti, just like I'm using a 3090 Ti. And this is honestly something that I can confirm, that I can tell you, because right now I'm sitting here talking to you in front of my 3090 Ti PC. And even with my 3090 Ti, which is a super expensive GPU, even right now, I'm still struggling to get that peak performance on a flight simulator, on other VR games. I'm still struggling, even on Alyx. I'm struggling to keep that 50 frames per second. I have to adjust certain things. Once in a while, I would hit 60, but I'll drop down to 50 to 48 frames. So this shows you how well PlayStation VR 2 experience is optimized much better to work on the console PlayStation VR instead of a PC VR. And you can see it right here. There's the guy. He clearly here, you can see what he said. There it is. Here, let me show you right here. Let me just kind of back up over here. Here, I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what he said. There, right there. There, that's the guy, developer, Devilles. He said, it's the pinnacle of VR, especially for shooters. We have set up adaptive trigger so each weapon has a different resistance and recoil. And the guy says right here, it's probably 10% above PC VR in performance. Just because it's a console and rendering, it's more efficient. So this right here shows you why you should think about getting the PlayStation 5 for $400 and the PlayStation VR 2 for $550. Just for $1,000, you can have the badass PlayStation 5 console, the most popular PlayStation 5 console, and you can have the badass PlayStation VR experience, the most definitive VR experience, instead of spending $2,000, $3,000 on the PC and then another $1,000 for a VR headset. Don't you want to save money? That's my question to you. Again, each to its own, right? If money is not an issue, I mean, go ahead. But why waste money? right? If you can get something for a better performance, better experience, and for less money. Anyway, so that's Pavlov, one of the developers for Pavlov. Let's move on to a different article here. I want to talk to you about the rumor that Half-Life Alyx is coming to, you guessed it, a PlayStation VR 2. And this is coming from a PSU article right here, one of the PSU website, which is a PlayStation website, meaning a fan-made PlayStation blogging website. That's what it is. It's a PlayStation blogging website, PSU. So this is what it says. A rumor has it that Half-Life Alyx is coming to PlayStation VR 2. Now, if this is true, let's see. Sony and Valve are working to bring the critically acclaimed Half-Life Alyx to PlayStation VR 2, according to Xbox Era co-founder Nick Baker. And it says right here. And guys, this is a pretty big deal. The fact, imagine how awesome the Half-Life Alyx experience is going to be with those adaptive triggers, haptic feedback, so you can feel in the visors on your VR headset, 3D audio, 120 hertz refresh rate to 90 hertz to 120 hertz variable refresh rate, 4K resolution, high dynamic range, 110 degree field of view, Tobii eye tracking, focusing eye tracking to get the, consistent frame rate. I mean, this will be the best Half-Life Alyx VR experience. When this thing comes to PlayStation VR 2, mark my words, this will be the ultimate PlayStation VR 2 experience. You're going to forget about your PC. You're going to say, dude, why waste $3,000 or $4,000 on a PC? For $4,000, you could have, technically, you could have, no joke, 4 PlayStation 5s digital and 4 PlayStation VR 2s. 4 of them you could have. Think about that. You could have 4 PlayStation 5s digital and 4 PlayStation VR 2s for $4,000. I'm just trying to put some perspective here. I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your money. I'm not trying to tell you how you spend your money. It's your life, your money, do what you want to do. But I'm just trying to put things in perspective for individuals who are saying that PlayStation VR 2, it's not worth it. I don't want to pay it. It's too expensive. But I don't see these same individuals complaining about a Pimax 8K or any of those PCVR headsets. I don't see them complaining about the Meta Pro. That's a $1,500 VR headset. Right? You don't see them complaining about the next generation Quest 3 that's going to cost about $700. You don't see them complaining about that, right? But they're complaining about a PlayStation VR 2. It's too expensive. I'm trying to understand the logic in this. Okay? So anyway, but that's just me. That's just me. So this is what the guy also says. Let me see. So from what I have been told, they have, not sure when it's happening though. I thought this was one of those open secrets. So listen, if Sony and Valve are working together, you know that they're going to bring Half-Life Alyx. You just know that they're going to bring it. When? We don't know. Maybe next year, 2024. holiday season or 2024 October next year. We'll see. We'll find out more at the end of this year, or maybe by the end of September we'll find more about this. Anyway, moving on to another news, is one of my favorites, Gran Turismo 7. Guys, Gran Turismo 7 was built. I didn't know this. Even I didn't know this information until I find out today. And this is coming from PSU, which is a PlayStation blogging magazine website. Gran Turismo 7 was built with PlayStation VR 2 in mind from day one. So let me repeat this one more time. Gran Turismo 7 was built with PlayStation VR 2 in mind from day one. Day one. They built this from ground up to work specifically with PlayStation VR 2. I would go as far to say that this is going to be a must-have. And currently right now, Gran Turismo 7 is on sale till February 15th. I highly suggest that you guys go ahead and pick this up while it's on sale. Resident Evil Village, it's on sale. I highly suggest that you pick these two, Gran Turismo 7 and Resident Evil Village, while it's still on sale. Pick it up right now. Buy it right now. So, let's read this article really quick. Polyphony Digital boss Kazunori Yamauchi, which is the creator of the Gran Turismo, has revealed that Gran Turismo 7 was built for PlayStation VR 2 from day one, with the studio always intending to have the game running on Sony's next generation VR headset. Speaking with the GT Planet, revealed that PlayStation VR 2 was always part of the equation when GT7, Gran Turismo 7, began production, and said that the team didn't really have to cut anything in terms of visuals to get the game running on the headset. So why? Because they built this from ground up in mind for PlayStation VR 2. So that's why all they need is just the update. They're going to roll the update on February 22nd on midnight, and you're good to go. If you have your VR headset on 22nd, that's it. You're good to go. So, in that respect, he said there hasn't been anything done to cut anything down in any major way. So that means that you're going to get the best, most authentic VR Gran Turismo experience, period. I mean, this is going to be just mind-blowing. I'm going to lose myself playing this day in, day out, day in, day out, man. All the time. I'll be checking out 100 plus cars, bunch of different tracks. I'll probably spend a lot of time playing this, to be honest with you. So this is a great news. And there's more news coming, but I'll have that on my next video. Trust me, this is just the beginning. We're just warming up. So when I hear people say that PlayStation VR 2, it's too expensive and I don't want to buy it, I'm not so sure. My question to those individuals is, have you looked at other VR headsets? Have you tried other VR headsets? How familiar are you with the VR? I have tried a bunch of VR headsets. I have a bunch of VR headsets. Okay, I will go as far as a Samsung mobile VR, where you put a phone in and you put it on, like a Galaxy VR or something like that. Samsung Gear, that's what it was called, a Samsung Gear VR. I'll go as far as Samsung Gear VR. That's how far I go back, 2014, 2015. And then Oculus, the Oculus One, the original one, Oculus One, right? And then all the other Oculuses that came in after that, all these different generations, Windows Mixed Reality, Quest 2, PlayStation VR. So I'm very familiar with the VR headsets. Samsung Odyssey, which I have over here. So if you look at other VR headsets like HTC Vive, HTC Vive Pro, how expensive they are, and they require also a very expensive PC. When you look at the price ranges on those headsets, and then you compare that to a PlayStation VR 2, which costs less, has better technology, has better performance, and at the same time has the best console to support it for $400. And then people start telling me that this is a expensive, this is a overpriced. I don't know if they're doing it just for the clicks, to start some controversy, but come on. If you know anything about VR and how expensive VR is and what kind of a PC it takes just to get the VR to run, PlayStation VR 2 price is just right. I'll actually go on the record to say I can't believe that they're pricing it at $550. I can't believe that they're pricing this product at $550. I'll put it that way. So anyway, that's my video for today. I wish that I could make these videos short, but I think 20 minutes, 23 minutes, 24 minutes, it gives you a better understanding of the point that I'm trying to come across, and so that way you understand my stance on how I feel about PlayStation VR 2 and all this news that's surfacing every day since we're getting closer to the PlayStation VR 2 launch. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How do you feel about the PlayStation VR 2? And what do you think about the PlayStation VR 2? And what are your opinions on it? Please leave a comment down below. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. There's a bunch of more news coming on PlayStation VR 2. Thank you guys. And I'll see you in the next one.